Okay, here we are, Riley and Jacob.
Yep.
And got a brand new product just released. They sent it to us, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. They told us not to talk about it until its official release date, which is now come and gone. But I've been busy playing with it. You just got your hands on it for the first time today, but you had a little bit of time on it. So this is the Mantis TitanX. And we saw this at SHOT Show, got a little bit of play time, and now here it is in the flesh. So
yeah,
there you have it.
Just from first impressions, really quite impressed. First of all, look at this packaging. I think this is really a nice touch that it comes in this kind of molded. It's not a hard plastic. I don't know what you call this.
EVA foam.
Yeah, there you go.
EVA foam.
No.
So it's protective. Certainly, it's it's got a shell.
But a custom cutout foam interior. Fits in there nice. They were thoughtful too to include a cutout for an optic, which, by the way, this is optic ready. And that was one of the first things I noticed as I picked it up. I was like, that's fantastic. I knew that it was advertised as that, but again, seeing it firsthand and seeing how that's executed, and it's actually got a cover plate that you can remove, and RMR and RMS and SMS compatible. Those are the shield sights. So that means also anything that's like an RMSC footprint. Your 407Ks, your Romeo Zeros, and the related optics of that size, those will bolt on here, but as well as the RMRs, so your full-size Holosuns as well as your RMRs and stuff.
And because this is a training gun, it's not generating any recoil, so there's a little bit less concern about how the mount, how tight the mount is, or what material it's being screwed into.
There may be. Well, so they did a nice job. That there's actually mounting threads in here that are metal, which is cool. Those are embedded into the. This is a polymer injection molded, housing, but it's like it's not like you're just screwing into plastic. So that's really nice touch. It doesn't have to fit that optic cut perfectly. So like if you were to put one of the smaller footprint optics in there, no big deal. It might look a little bit funny, but it's a training pistol. And yeah, there's not recoil, so it's not gonna, we're concerned with optic cuts fitting tightly to an optic so that recoil is not gonna shake them loose.
Right.
Or at the very least have recoil bosses, and it's not needed here. We just had the mounting holes, and they're in the right spots, and already kind of played with that a little bit, so that's pretty cool. Wasn't necessarily intending on jumping right into talking about optic compatibility, because that's.
But it had a spot for it.
I was excited about it because I think that's a really well done design. For a training pistol like this, they're forward thinking enough to go, hey, a lot of folks are moving that direction on their actual defensive and carry guns and competition guns and duty guns, and so hey, we should make sure that our training pistol is also set up that way. And I'll say this too, one of the downsides, I say downside, it's a potential training issue of a laser pistol, is that you get focused more on where the laser's impacting the target and starting to ignore things like where your sights are.
Visual feedback,
When I've played around with an optic on some other competing products in the past, when you have the red or green, but I think red is perfect because this is a red laser as well. If you have a red dot optic on here, and it's not going to be perfect for all distances, but when you have that and you're looking now at your red dot reticle of your optic, it helps, I think, pull my attention away from so much where is the laser impacting the target. I can allow my software to track that and make sure I'm focusing on the optic reticle itself, and it's helpful because it's a little bit more. Iron sights are pretty subtle relative to a bright red dot on a target, but when I've got a red dot already through my optic window, it helps not get so sucked into just watching where my laser's impacting.
As a laser training pistol, it's got a lot of the features that we see some of the competition have, but there's a lot of nice little detail as well. Let's talk about sights real quick.
Yep.
So we would have appreciated a little bit of color, even just a little white dot or something on the front sight. Right now it's just black on black, though it does have what's the word I'm looking for?
Plastic.
Like a hole.
It's not a hole.
It's a recess.
It's a slight recess.
Slight recess. Yeah. Then you could put a little dab of paint in there, or white out even, or something if you want to create some contrast. But that's nice. I appreciate that detail. Something that's probably the most, before we get into some of the other little details, something that's a real big deal about this that we should not go another minute without saying, is that this has a Mantis X10 built into it. So if
Yeah.
you're familiar with using a Mantis system, the original Mantis X, and now of course we have the Mantis X3, the X7 or something, and the X10 is kind of their elite, top line model. That's now baked into this. So instead of taking an X10 and sticking it on some other training tool or your real gun, you don't have to do that with this because it's already baked in. So right here on top, there's kind of a button you push to start the Bluetooth connection with the free app on your phone, and you're off to the races.
Yep.
And it's worth mentioning right now at this junction that this product that we've been told will go on sale for $199. So that's less than just buying an X10. It's certainly less than buying an X10 plus a training pistol.
Right, and that is a big deal because you're getting what appears to be a quality laser projecting training device, which means we can now integrate it with software systems that use cameras to pick up where that laser impact is on target, which is awesome. But now we can get that data output from the gun into the software as well, into the Mantis software, saying, oh, hey, that last shot you just took, like you really shanked that one, like it helps you start to, if you're not already physically or visually aware of what you're doing in mistakes, the Mantis software is going to help you identify those
huge.
As well.
And the X10, which of course is what's in here, also has the draw analysis. So it'd be able to help you with draw. We were noting earlier, you noticed something I had not, which is that there appears to be a mechanical lever in here that allows the device to know when it's with or without a magazine, which suggests, and I haven't connected it and played with the software yet, but it suggests that if there isn't already, there's the possibility of having some data relative to mag in, mag out, time between mag changes, etc.
Didn't mean for that one to go all the way to the floor, but as you saw there, I could do mag changes, right? So, and it came with a spare magazine.
Yeah, really nice.
So we can practice those mag changes as well. Yeah, so the point, further with that software is being able to get data on, very specific breakdowns of reload speeds and times, presumably. One thing I was going to mention, you mentioned the draw analysis. They do a really fantastic job. I think it's actually one of the coolest features of the Mantis software is that draw analysis gives you different stages of the draw. So like your reaction time to basically getting your hand to the gun, how long it takes for you to get it out of the holster, how long it takes for you to get from there up to target, and how long it takes you to break the shot. Which is really, really cool analysis because you can really see, oh, my reaction time, just getting my hand to my gun is really slow. That's where I have the most ground that I could gain in terms of shaving time off. Or, I'm taking forever to get from here to here, or I'm on target, but I'm waiting, I'm over confirming essentially and taking too long to press the trigger, things of that nature. So that draw analysis, I think, is a really beneficial tool for shooters in practice. Yeah. And to have that all baked into the gun to work with the software is amazing.
So nice, without any additional attachments. This is definitely Gen 5 Glock 19 is the mold, is the shape, etc. So it should be working with any Glock 17, Glock 19 compatible holster. I really appreciate some of the little details, like for example, the trigger safety. That's something that's really, and it's functional.
Well, and that and the trigger itself feel like a Glock trigger. As
Very
far
much
as
so.
The profile and the shape and the feel of it.
The take up, the break, the reset. You don't get an audible reset.
The break is a little, it's not as crispy as what you would expect.
Fair.
But the take up distance and where it breaks is, it feels natural.
You have a functional accessory rail, so if you're a person who likes to mount a light and have that as part of your profile, maybe that's what your holster requires. You could do that here. As far as I can tell, the mag release, like a standard Glock, is swappable. So if you wanted this to be lefty, then you should be able to do that.
Seems like it. Yeah. Seems like it's designed that way. Yep.
The magazine is weighted. It's got some decent heft to it.
It really does, because the body of the pistol itself, this is probably one of the bigger knocks on it, is this does not feel like, this feels very lightweight and kind of toy-like.
Fair.
This really adds the weight that you're going to want to have to make it feel more substantial.
In fact, we'll insert right here in the video the weight of a Glock 19 and the weight of this thing, just to give you some comparison.
Sure. Yeah. So very much weighted magazine. That contributes a lot to this feeling more natural in the hand. But this also feels, I don't know how it compares, but it feels like it's a loaded magazine.
It feels hefty.
So that's cool.
Yeah, the stippling feels, Glock, Gen 5 Glocky. Worth mentioning, it's USB rechargeable. So this is not a take it apart and swap out the battery thing. This is plug in your USB-C cable.
Right.
I think it came with one. I don't remember. But if you can't find a USB-C cable, I don't know where you're at. Adjustable point of impact as far as adjusting the point where the laser hits.
The sights are fixed, but you can just move the laser. You can move up, down, left, right to where you need to make it align with the sights that are on the gun. So
yeah, and it definitely required some of that out of the box. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's a fun, effective training tool, and with Mantis baked into it, pretty hard to go wrong for $199 in our current marketplace.
I agree. It's a huge value for what this packs into it, feature-wise. It's a great solution to the market. I mean, I think this is going to be a big hit.
Yeah, there you have it, guys. Check out the TitanX.